Isaac, it's take 7.
Well, yes, it is, and we're trying really hard to not end up on take 8.
Yeah, because we have 43 minutes, and we've bailed on this recording several times.
Yes,
And you
it will make one hell of an outtake when we put all of them together in a row.
absolutely, absolutely, Zach, we have literary analysis to do, isn't that right?
We do, and it comes from one of our comments.
Yeah, bonk. There it is.
Uh, we have anonymized for your viewing pleasure the comment that we received on our Iron Throne video that I love. This stuck with me for like 2 hours. I was thinking about this passively in the background, and I was supposed to be doing work, which I did still do the work, but I was thinking about this the whole time. And I'm going to read it out for you.
Yeah.
I've been saying the Iron Throne is cursed, or at least something is definitely wrong with it for years, but Reddit folks are obsessed with the low fantasy marketing HBO gave the series, which bled into the books and proceeded to dismiss it. Martin describes the throne as a monster. That thing ain't right.
What a great comment, Zach.
I adore this because it totally is true. I we both started books because of the show,
Mm-hmm.
and that put a lens on how we view it that I think absolutely this is a problem with how the show is communicated uh, to people. And I want to like go and like talk about just some of the different parts of the book that are like clearly magical that were shown as magical in the show or shown as less magical in the show, and just like places in the show for like parts of the book we haven't gone yet where magic might have been taken out of the equation. And the other thing that sticks with me, and this is a fun thing I like to bring up to all of my friends who have only ever watched the shows and don't read the books. Sam finds a horn. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember Sam finding a horn? That happens in the show. It also happens in the books. What happens with that horn in the show?
Um. Wait, I know this. It's season 7, episode 2. Sam doesn't do anything with the horn.
Yes, correct. Sam kind of forgot about the horn. So did the show.
Sam kind of forgot about the Horn of Winter. And Zach, what's on the cover of the Winds of Winter?
A horn.
I'm pretty sure it's that horn. There's only 2
Yeah,
horns in the series. You nerds, go in the comments and tell me which
you
horns are
forgot
in the
about the
series.
third horn, which is briefly blown at Joffrey's wedding and is no way similar to the other ones.
There is
That horn might cause you to choke to death. We don't know.
there is Jaime's horn. There's like an ancestral horn of House Lannister that he has in book 4. But fight me on it. Also, while you're down in the comments fighting about it, please like the video because YouTube really likes it when I say that.
So let's talk about the horn of Joramun. We can throw that up there.
And so basically what this video is, we're talking about the things that are definitely magical in the series.
Yes, the definitely magical things, and then also I want to talk about like the books do a very good job of putting magical things in a context where like people who are around them they're just not accustomed to magic because it's a very rare and usually not great thing. Uh, and that was interpreted by HBO to be like there isn't much magic and we should just keep it like low fantasy. But like I don't view Song of Ice and Fire as a low fantasy setting. I view it as a high fantasy setting where magic is secretive and weird and like viewpoints we get, the point of view characters, with the exception of like Melisandre, are and it's weird that we even have a chapter from her point of view, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Are not accustomed to magic on the level that they end up seeing, and I think that's actually going to be a huge theme in Winds of Winter. Is the return of winter is the return of magic, and going off of your like Daenerys Roseberry baby sort of thing, like it's almost like an end time sort of thing. High fantasy, I'm dead.
Zach, you gotta stay on the rails. You gotta stay on the rails. You gotta keep it.
You can't be yanking
You
me
gotta
off
keep
the
it.
rails with bits like
You
that.
gotta keep it.
I've got to keep it on the rails. So let's talk about like the increase in magic that must be happening in the next book. There's the Horn of Joramun.
Yeah,
There's also your boy,
my boy,
Euron
my
Greyjoy.
boy
Euron Greyjoy clearly has magic.
has a magic horn and magic beverages.
He has magic armor.
Well, at this moment, he just has very cool armor.
That we have asserted on multiple times is magic, and
Yes.
multiple occasions is magic, with good evidence.
Yes. But it could also just be like, Melisandre really likes to talk about the trappings of power. That could just be one of the trappings of Euron's power that, he looted from Aegon the Second's treasured hoard or whatever.
That's true. That is possible.
Uh, uh, hey, I got a good one.
Yeah.
Um, there's a bunch of weird stuff in the House of the Undying.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah, like
Hey,
this
no,
is.
move that over to the left. Move that over to the
Yeah.
left because there's something we can put in between them.
Oh, sure.
The warlocks from the House of the Undying have been kidnapped, at least one of them, by Euron.
Have been kidnapped by Euron. Yeah. Okay. What else? Uh. Uh. Barrack. How do you spell Barrack?
You got it in one, I'm pretty sure.
Has been brought back to life so many times. And what
And
else?
Stoneheart, who's not in the show. Barrett
Catelyn.
gives his life to Catelyn Stark.
Catelyn Stark is alive. She's definitely moving around. I don't know if it's fair to say she's alive, but she is moving around.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach. What else? Give me some. Come on. Yeah.
Um,
Fire at me.
um, Jon Snow was resurrected in the show, but it probably won't be as like easy in the books.
Came back to life in season 6 of
So
Game of Thrones for the watch.
he was mostly unfazed by his whole getting murdered thing.
Yep. Best Glidus video, in my opinion.
Yes,
Season 6, episode 1.
that's a damn good one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Miri Mazdur. What? How do we even phrase this? Appears
Turned Khal Drogo into a horse.
appears to summon demons to resurrect Drogo, right?
Yeah.
A lot of resurrecting.
Melisandre creates a shadow person with the face of Stannis.
Oh yeah.
That does happen in the show also.
Shadow baby.
That I think is the perfect chapter to like show how magic is like displayed, and it's not in my like book like it's written with the perspective of like you might get in a low fantasy book, but we see from Mel like there's an understanding as to how this magic works. There is a reliable way to do it. Uh,
Well, just ignore that.
uh, you just ignore for people who watch along visibly. Uh, there's a pretty like commonly understood, or at least understood by Mel, process for making the magic. And I think the distinction between high fantasy and low fantasy people view as the like level of magic, but the level of magic is clearly pretty high if Shadow Baby, like, a horn can bring down the wall, Shadow Babies can be spawned to assassinate people,
Mm-hmm.
people can be brought back from the dead,
Yeah.
and whatever the fuck Euron Greyjoy is doing.
Yep. And all of this appears to be reasonably routine.
Yeah, it's if not routine, it's like I don't think we go a single book without something that can only be explained by magic happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure every book has them. And that's not just including. I mean, we like the others clearly have like magical powers too. They can turn people. They can turn corpses into wights.
Yeah. The others revive zombies.
Now, the eyes we always see these things through. Like we see Euron through um, a Dampire's view, and Dampire believes to himself to have been drowned and like survived. And there's an argument for that, although there's an argument that he might have like be misinterpreting a little bit. But he does not seem like magic on the level of like Euron's caliber before. And then Sam finding the horn, he's like, he also sees the others and is like no conception of them. He's horrified at what he sees. Uh and slays. And like when we meet Barrack, even like Thoros was not like sure he could do that until he did. We don't get quite the like monologue that we get from the show, but the idea that the magic like it's done in an interesting way. If we're taking the show to be a good interpretation of the magic, which might not be. Thoros didn't even know he could do that and was shocked when it worked. I think that's not too different from how it's like portrayed in the books,
I
if
believe
I'm
you're
not
correct.
mistaken.
It's not the same, but it is reasonably similar.
They give him characterization of him being like a shitty priest his whole life that isn't in there. It's just that he had never rezzed somebody before, and then apparently it was easier than he thought.
Yeah, I believe there is a line about how he did not have full faith until Barrack came back. Oh, it's
Yeah,
so beautiful in the show. He's like, I knelt over him and I said the words because he was my friend and I didn't know what other words to say. Oh, it's really
it was
good.
the one instance they wrote better than George could.
Yeah.
It never happened again.
That's
Oh
it.
wait, so there's also when Joris is Here I Stand. That's not in the books. That is better than
Here
the
I
scene is in.
stand.
I love the I love the fact there's like a meme where like it shows a word bubble next to his like a thought bubble next to his head afterwards. Is like nailed
Mhm.
it.
Now wait, on the subject of Jorah, one of my
Yeah,
favorite things in the later season is in season 6 after Jorah gets cured of grayscale.
yeah,
Maester Ebros, maybe? Is that Maester Ebros? The guy who's played by Slughorn. Um, he he comes in and he's like talking to Sam and talking to Jorah and being like, you're completely cured. Any idea why that might have happened? And Jorah's like, I just felt much better this morning. I felt I felt much better. I got a good night's sleep. It's really it's it's a good one. It's a good one. I like that show. I feel much better about Game of Thrones now that House of the Dragon is good.
there's some fun you can have with the later seasons. Yes,
Yeah, I no
no,
longer
knowing that they're imperfect,
I no
they're
longer
very
want
imperfect.
I no longer want to remove my ears when thinking about Game of Thrones season 8. Now I'm like, okay, that was the low point, now we're swinging up.
Yeah, and if we
Feels
hit
good.
another low point again, at least we've proven we can recover.
Yes.
Even if we crash and burn again in the future, we've proven it's recoverable.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, I got another good one. Um uh uh Varys's let's say Varys's old master talks to something in a fire.
yes, this is another great example of Varys has no idea what is being said and what's being done at that time. He witnesses magic and he is completely clueless and scared.
I love this storytelling technique. It's one of the ones that I use the most in my own writing. The imperfect first person account. Uh,
Yes,
it's one of the we talked about Lovecraft in a recent video. It's one of the things that scares me most. That if Varys told me that he heard a person that a person was talking to a fire and that fire was talking back right now, I would not believe him. But when he says when I was very young and in pain out of my mind, this is what I heard, I believe him. Right, I don't necessarily believe that it is a perfect accounting, but I believe him and I understand that he believes this. Uh right, I believe that he is telling the truth with full confidence in this story, and I think that that is
yes,
extremely interesting.
and and there's always like fallibility with like memory. There's always like not being able to see all the details, but it makes it more believable that like he has an imperfect recollection. He remembers how it feels. He remembers uh like the voice the person was giving. He has uh the feeling and the emotion still sticks with him what decades later.
Yeah.
uh yeah, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful
It
and it's
is incredibly well done.
terrifying and I love it.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I love old Nan stories because they add something to there's enough layers of separation that it's not when there's enough layers of separation it adds a level of interesting credibility uh
Yes.
where uh uh I find this ancient journal that describes these things happening to someone that the person who wrote the journal uh like got from another person, right? There's an interesting credibility when that when that many layers of separation are added, and I find that quite fascinating. Packs of ice spiders big as hounds.
Yeah.
So
Old man stories are kind of perfect too because we get other implications of like magic being real, but it's also shown like the way people talk about magic being real in real life. You know, people believing in like fairies and things like that, which people still do to some extent. Not as much as they did in like the old like you know Celtic times when the myths are first like being spread. Although we can't like tell that for sure, I suppose. Maybe there was a lot of skepticism at the time and just record didn't survive, or maybe they were always intended more as stories. But there are still people who believe in mythical beings of every shape and size right now of like cryptids and other supernatural things. But we get that nice blend of like people telling stories, there's skepticism and pushback, and then when we do see magic, people don't know how to deal with it. It defies explanation to them.
man, that's another just really good video. um like not like religious myths, but like cryptids in A Song of Ice and Fire could be a cool thing to explore. Because immediately I'm thinking of the unicorns on Skagos,
Yeah,
cannibal living in the Vale, um, uh, uh, the ice dragons, the velociraptors on Sothorios, uh, uh, a whole bunch of extremely cool things.
yeah, yes. Then like the weird beings we have seen that like we just don't like manticores that we don't have a ton of explanation for, but we've seen one.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's awesome. Hey, here's something that you might consider magical. Um, the um the face changers. Oh no, I've been reading too much Dune. The face dancers. um, the
Men without
the
faces.
Tleilaxu, the Bene Gesserit. You know the ones.
Yeah,
Uh,
the men without faces, the people who made the song "Pop Goes the World" in the Safety
Pop
Dance.
Goes the World by Men Without Faces. Yeah.
Yes, Pop
Yeah.
Goes Valeria.
I like that one. The Faceless Men very literally like stitch faces onto their faces,
Yeah.
and that's wild.
Not only that, like the Jack and Hagar is literally compelled to kill 3 people for Arya. He can't. He actually cannot say no to that.
Well, you say he actually cannot. He believes he cannot, at least. Well, no, he says he believes he cannot. Um,
That'd be something that'd be easier to write off if he wasn't also a magical being.
yeah, that's
It's
true.
harder to write that off when he is a face changer with actual magic powers.
I don't know. I'm like, can I? Am I willing to put that on the board when I don't know what's gonna happen if you don't, Jackin?
What if like Jack and Hagar like believes he has to tip 20% and he gets like terrible service, but like he'll lose his magic powers or die if he doesn't. It's like a
Oh,
rule, but it's not really a rule.
yeah, it's like the vegans in Scott Pilgrim.
Yes, gelato is vegan.
Have you watched the new Scott Pilgrim show?
I've watched the first 2 episodes
Oh,
and
you
it's
gotta watch.
incredibly good.
Oh, you gotta watch the rest of them. Weird Al's in that show.
I'm aware, and I was watching to try and see my hero Weird Al.
My Hero
However,
Academia.
yes,
My
uh,
Hero
Weird Weird
Weird
Al
Al
Academia.
Academia.
Yes, my hero Weird Al Academia is also on my watch list.
Perfect.
Uh, I'm
It's a
currently
weird recording, guys. It's a weird
it is
video.
it's been a weird time. It's a weird video, and it's only gonna get weirder. Uh,
It's been a
I've
while.
been I've been starting too many shows that I like look at and I'm like, I want to watch this whole show and then I just never finish it. I probably should focus Scott Pilgrim because I can just knock that one out
Yeah,
in like a couple days.
it's pretty quick. And
It's
also
not going to be
there's
like the
Weird
other.
Al.
Yeah, the other 2 shows I'm like juggling are Sopranos and uh, Curb Your Enthusiasm and I guess Succession, but it's been a hot minute, and those are way longer.
I I
So
I haven't been doing anything but taking straight shots of the Dune universe.
my condolences question mark
Oh my
because
god.
you're definitely well into the books now.
Oh, it's great.
People are becoming worms.
I just started I'm about halfway through God Emperor of Dune. This is an update for all the people on our time travel video who said, Tom, you have to continue. It gets way weirder. Um and I have great news. I'm about to make all those people in the comments angry. You ready, Zach?
Yeah.
This is the first book in the series. This is book 4. This is the first one that I would describe as having compelling characters. Holy shit. It's so refreshing to have characters who don't just suck. Oh
Jared
my
Leto's gonna kick your ass.
oh my
That
god. Paul
that's the
Atreides,
guy who turns into a worm, right? Is Jared Leto?
Jared Leto. No, yeah, Jared Leto the second. Uh
Jared Leto the second.
yeah.
Okay.
Uh uh oh my god, everyone just sucks so much ass in those books. Holy shit. You know what would make this time god better, Zach, if he was a brooding teenager? My god. And this is a huge problem I have with the Dune books. Is they cut out, and we are doing this side tangent right now. I don't care. We're doing it in the
Yep.
middle of
No.
the
Yeah.
video.
100%. Yep. It is a necessary tangent.
It can't. We have to do it.
The comments are already talking about it.
Yeah.
We can't pull away now.
The Dune books skip all the most fun things that happen in this series. Okay. For example, I'm about to spoil Dune 1, 3, and 4 in the next like minute and a half. You know what? We're going to do it this way. Dune spoilers, and I will take this off the screen when the spoilers are done. So you can fast forward if you want to. In Dune 3, in Dune 1, Paul is a time god. And he is able to outpredict every military maneuver that anyone else could ever do because he is a time god, right? He looks forward, Doctor Strange style. He looks forward to all the possibilities, and then he's able to select exactly the correct battle plan and never fucking lose. Very cool.
That's why he was able to make sure Timothy Chalamet played him in Dune. He was able to look into every actor and then pick the coolest one for his character
Zach, what
and
is
go with
this?
that one.
What is this bit?
It's
I know. I just want to
sorry.
know.
I recently watched Deadpool and Wolverine, so I like to think of like nonsense multiverse bullshit in the dumbest way possible.
Okay.
Uh,
Well,
and
anyway,
that's very spirit for that movie. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
no, I haven't, and we can't start a Deadpool tangent in the middle of my Dune
And
tangent. I
underneath
haven't
Dune
even
spoilers,
finished the first sentence of the Dune tangent yet.
just put slash Deadpool after Dune and you're good.
Ugh. Dune and Deadpool 3. Spoilers.
And then I won't mention it again. Now that you've heard
Yeah, we're just never gonna talk about it. Uh 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 so he has this predictive capability, right, Zach? Right? You understand this? You understand that he has
Yes,
this?
yes.
And then we never see any of the battles, we just skip to the end.
That is infuriating, and it robs us of a compelling character because he's never going to like ever be challenged,
Yeah.
and it at least robs us of like a cool, compelling scene where he's like an unbeatable badass.
Yeah,
That is
I would
kind of
like
the worst
you
of both
made me
worlds.
sit through Brooding Teen. You made me sit through 40 pages of Brooding Teenager. You can't give me one battle scene, motherfucker.
At least watching somebody who's hyper competent at battle is interesting
Yeah,
firsthand
that's
talent.
fun. Like that's what am I here for? Okay, so then in the third book, right, Leto the Second is a psychic 9-year-old, and he gets a set of worm armor, and becomes Thor, um, and goes and like single-handedly dismantles an entire like governmental apparatus over the course of 3 months, and we just hand wave that away. We don't see any of that. Zach, after brooding children for 3 books, this child literally bench presses a battle cruiser, and we hear a secondhand description of that, and we don't get to see it.
Yeah, that's
I was pissed. and then
the
and then
and also like to draw back to like the comparison here, so we have like some plausibility for like why the side rant is here.
yeah.
Uh, whenever we get a like secondhand account of something, it's from the distant past. It is also informing something we're likely to see in the future of the books.
Yeah.
Like we get secondhand descriptions of like actually in the first scene we get with Mel, we get descriptions of how like weird and strange her powers are before we see her drink the poison and survive, and that her drinking the poison and surviving is to set up later when we first see the shadow baby, and then we get a later scene where we see her birth a shadow baby. It's very like done. Like we see indirect, we get references, we see an indirect example of power, we see the results of the power, and then we see the process of like the magic being used. It's very rewarding to readers,
Yeah,
which is
compare
not
that.
what happened to Dune, it sounds
I'm just gonna compare that to Frank Herbert, who hates you and
like.
just never wants you to have a good time. Can I finish my Dune rant very briefly?
Yes,
I
you can
would
finish your Dune and Deadpool 3 rant.
I would like to compare this to Dune 4, which is called God Emperor of Dune,
Yes.
where the main character is just an asshole, and I love him. I love him. He's such a scumbag. This entire franchise, Zach, I'm on book 4, and there's only 2 compelling characters in the entire series. They are both in this book. Uh, and one is a 3,500-year-old worm, and one's a zombie. And those are the only 2 characters in the whole franchise, Zach. It's amazing. I love this book.
That does sound incredible, and it almost makes me wonder if all of the previous books were just like, I just got to rush through it and like get to the point where the worm and the zombie are in the story.
Zach, I said that today. I said that today. That's how it feels. This is that he always wanted to write the perspective of a time god who isn't a brooding teenager, but is instead a dick.
And he first need to separately set up Time God and people turning into worms
Yeah.
and zombies.
Yeah, they really needed to make me want it. All right. That is the end. Oh, fucking fight me in the comments. Fight me about how stupid of a name Duncan, Idaho is. There you go. You're doing sections over.
No more Dune and or Deadpool 3 spoilers.
Yeah. Hang on, Zach. Do you wanna give one Deadpool 3 spoiler?
Wolverine's in it.
No, I was just about to watch it. Zach, give me some other magic. We have 11 minutes.
We do.
Is this video a disaster? Is this just a Patreon outtake?
No, I think this is usable with the caveats. I think that we got Mel drinking the poison and surviving. We have honestly Wildfire, like it's unclear. There's things that are unclear. Is the Strangler just like a really effective poison, or is it magic? Is Wildfire like just a really effective napalm-like substance or explosive, or is it magic? Because you know who else is weird? The fucking alchemists. If we're like starting to like weave into like the things that might have some magic, the alchemists of King's Landing are famously fucking weird, and Tyrion thinks about how weird and strange they are every time he has a scene with them.
The alchemist's spells are working better.
Yes, they say that after the dragons hatch.
Since the dragons are born. And this is the thing that really makes me think that the wildfire is actually magic. Because like before I had internalized that line, I can very easily accept the wildfire as being just like Greek fire, right? Just a complex chemical compound that is very good at burning stuff. But you're like, they employ spells and they're working better. The things that they are better at making wildfire than they were a couple months ago. What is that? How does that work, Zach? I ask you.
Yeah. that can't not be magical if a magic event makes magic work better.
Mm-hmm.
After Danny wakes the dragons, candles light up in the House of Earth on Nightwalker. We also have no idea who the fuck that is.
Obsidian candles. Man, I love those. Glass candles are so cool.
Yes.
Let's see.
We also have the Mad Maid, who might be like a witch.
Oh yeah.
We have
The Mad
Jenny's friend who's a witch.
Maid exists. There is a witch who foretells Cersei's future. Is this the same witch who foretells Arya's future? Or is
it's
this
unclear.
There is a witch who foretells Arya's future. And you ready for this?
Brendan Rivers is still alive.
Yeah.
Brendan Rivers is what, almost 200 years old?
Excuse me, he's 129. You fucking nerd.
Sorry, he's 129 years old. He's a spry 129 years old.
uh, he's 102 years old. Bran. Brendan and Aemon live unusually long. Yeah, Bran. Bran is the thing, by the way.
Yeah.
Just in case that was unclear.
Also, Aemon begins to die as soon as he leaves the wall, which means
Yeah.
the wall exudes like some sort of. He even says ice preserves.
Oh, yeah. We fucking completely forgot. There is a talking tree at the bottom of the Night Fort. That's not even. That's my god. That like it's like the Shadow Baby. That is just so unambiguously magical.
Yes, there is no other explanation other than it being magic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is full on a talking tree.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do we have? This is a good video. I like this one, Zach. This was a good idea.
Yeah. George downplays, like, he doesn't make the magic the point. People are going about their everyday lives, but it's still fucking there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a background radiation to the story. And I think that the background radiation levels in the Winds of Winter are going to get to like Chernobyl levels.
Isn't there? No, no. I'm not. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about season 2, episode 8 of House of the Dragon yet. Right? I don't want to talk about it on a recording.
I actually haven't seen it yet.
Really?
I have been swamped for the last few days, and
Bro.
this is the first time I sat down to do anything is record this episode.
Bro. Oh my god. Do you know what happens?
I know I know the theory video we just did about the Iron Throne had a serious chunk of it proven right.
It sure did.
So kudos on that.
Let's
That
go.
might be our first confirmed theory.
Well, you say confirmed. It's like kind of confirmed.
Partially confirmed, at
Like
least.
kind of confirmed. Although when we talk about it, we're definitely putting the giant words "confirmed" in the thumbnail.
Yes, correct. Well, I think MythBusters would call it plausible.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh my god, there's so much like actual. Like that episode was fucking crazy, and it may be my single favorite episode of Game of Thrones of all time.
Ooh,
Yeah,
wow, that's impressive.
like the ones that are on the top of my list of favorites are season 1, episode 9 of House of the Dragon, episode 8, I mean, of House of the Dragon. Um, Vizzy T does his baller walk. Um, the Watchers on the Wall is incredible. The Battle of the Blackwater is incredible. And like the Red Wedding is incredible. Ned Stark's execution is incredible. Right, those are the ones that are on the top of the list, like all the way up there. And Zach, this one's up there with them.
That's incredible.
Is freaking up there with them, dude. I'm gonna need to do like an analysis after I watch it another time or two, but this one's freaking up there. You know my feelings on the last episode, and this one's really good. Goddamn. All right.
Yeah.
All right. We can't
think
tangent more. I'm sorry.
we can't. We don't have a ton of time to tangent more.
No, we have 4 minutes.
Shadowbinders exist in Ashai. That's another one I forgot about. There's just a city that like doing magic is a career.
There is a college of magic at Old Town.
Yeah, I was about to bring up that. Yes, Marwyn forged a chain of higher mystery. He's the Archmaester of higher mysteries. That is like, we study magic.
Boy, the series is good, Zach. I also just want to talk about Dune a lot. All right, give me one more. What else you got?
Uh,
You know, we got 3 minutes. I'm gonna circle the ones that are definitely magic.
yeah.
What is definitely
Just
magic
circle.
in here?
You just circle everything. Uh,
Uh, this right?
cat, cat,
All this in
cat
here
being alive. The others was yep. That's
for
all
sure,
magic. Wait,
right?
Jon
This is
Snow too. Wait, Jon Snow's also magic.
yeah, but that's in the show.
That's true.
You know what I mean? That's in the show.
We don't know for sure it's happening in the books. It is. We just don't know for sure.
Correct. I don't know. He could just be a goat. He could just be a dog.
It's true.
That's
Bran is definitely
this
magic.
is magic, right?
Bran is magic. All of his
Hodor.
powers are magic.
This one we cannot say is definitely magic, right? This
It
could
could
be
just
a
be an old story. It's not true.
yep. Same thing with this one, right?
Yep.
This
Varys
is
could have lied. He lies all the time.
boop boop. Actually, I kind of like this X aesthetic. There we go. Yep. This is in the show. Get out of here. This
Mel drinks the poison and survives, but it's not necessarily magic.
yep.
She could have trained herself to like be immune to poison.
Actually, this is something that this is a theory that I proposed before. And maybe we could do a whole video on this because it's just an interesting concept. Um, Melisandre is basically a close-up magician. That's like what she does.
You've pitched before that when she burns the leeches, she already like foresaw that all those kings were going to die, and she's just pretending she had something to do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, and in the case of Maester Crescent, she could have foreseen that he was going to attempt to poison her. Um, he slept unusually hard that day and woke up late for the feast.
Yeah,
She could have drugged him, made him sleep a little bit longer, crept in, grabbed the vial she knew that he was going to use, and just swapped it out for something else.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think it's pretty safe to say that this and this are definitely magic, right?
At
Right?
the very least, so far they haven't been wrong yet, so it's questionable. But yeah,
All right. I won't circle them, but I won't X them out either. This one, though,
yeah,
this is getting circled.
confirmed. That is real magic. We witness it happen.
That's the Shadow Baby. Mad Maid could just be stories. We don't know yet.
It could just be people being like sexist against an old lady
Yeah.
who does weird things.
The College of Magic, I love it. But like the Maesters certainly seem to believe that it's bullshit.
And it could they're like it could be a college of like critical analysis. It could be like an Amazing Randy sort of thing.
What a fun pitch. I'm circling the House of the Undying.
Yeah, we see the inside. It's magic as fuck.
Yep. Get in there. Get in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Talking trees magic.
Yeah, that talking tree is magic. That's for sure. That's a fucking talking tree, Zach. There is no way to do that. That's not. This is a talking tree. My God, what is this Pocahontas bullshit?
Miriam as they're summoning demons could be not true. Drogo could have just been in a coma the whole time.
You're right, and we see it through Daenerys's perspective, while she is losing blood and losing consciousness.
Yes.
Right. It doesn't need to be magic.
It can be hallucination, yeah.
Um,
Same with Euron.
but you know what? I'm gonna leave these ones open in the same way I'm leaving these ones open. Can the warlocks are magic, right? They just are.
Yeah. And they are kidnapped by somebody who like collects things that seem to be magic.
Yes. What about this one? What about Brendan and Aemon?
That's hard to tell, but like the conditions under which they live and how Aemon dies do feel really like magic-y
I
because
think I'm
like
gonna circle
he
him.
dies immediately after leaving the wall, and Brendan is part tree for being 127.
Yeah.
I think we kind of have to give the magic that one.
What do you think of the alchemists? I kind of want to circle him. I don't know how. You know what? No, I think we have to circle him. The old spells are working better.
There's other interpretations that aren't magical. We can't cross it out, but it's possible they just got like hyped that they heard dragons are out there and are now doing their job better.
All right.
But that's probably not the case. It probably is the case that it's magic.
And the glass candles, I'm gonna X out.
They could be made up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zach, there it is. There's our thing.
Yeah.
Please put more of these in the comments. They are really fun and really interesting. And I'm confident we missed some.
Yeah, we definitely missed a ton of things that are implicitly magic. We never even wrote down the Faceless Men. And yeah, I look forward to seeing your interpretations of some magic things that we missed. And also, uh, so many of these are looking like they're going to come to a head to be especially relevant in the Winds of Winter. So I think one theme of that is a very cynical of like magic is real. Uh, magic is real. I'm so sorry. Might just be the theme of the Winds of Winter.
and on that joyous note, Zach, I think that's our show.
I think so. Thank you
Th-
for watching, everyone.
yeah, thanks for watching. If you want to be cool like these people in the background, like Zelazor and like Sergio and like Eamon, who else we got in here? Like Nick Tompkins, right? Like Ross. Who by the way continues to be on the top of the list of comments that YouTube doesn't like. You can join our Patreon if you want to. But in the meantime, Zach, say goodbye.
Goodbye.